Hi artists, let's get ready to make a coil bowl. You have a bag with a big lump of clay in it. Your first job is to write your name on your bag. Now that you've done that, we're going to prepare our mold. Every student has a bowl and a piece of saran wrap. We are going to gently press the saran wrap into the bottom of your bowl and sort of gather it around the edges so that there's nothing extra hanging off. If you would like to use a little piece of tape to hold it down, you can do that. You don't need to tape the entire bowl, just a couple of pieces so the saran wrap doesn't wiggle around. Next, let's get our clay out and get ready to make our coils. A coil is a long rope of clay that you create with your hands, sort of like a clay snake. The easiest way to get a piece off of your lump of clay is to grab and twist. We are going to use pieces about the size of a golf ball. The bigger the piece is, the harder it's going to be to work with. I'm going to roll it with the flat part or the palm of my hand. I do not want to squish it with my fingers. Sometimes I like to get it going with my hands and then roll it on the table. We also don't want uneven pieces. We want them to be about the same size all the way through. Remember, there are lots of different types of coils you can use. I am going to start with one big coil and place it in the bottom of my bowl. I'm going to make a few more coils in a row so I have a little pile to work with. Once I have some coils made, I'm going to start deciding what kind of designs I want to use for my coil bowl. I am going to place my coils firmly into my mold. I don't want to squish them though. I am going to also measure and make sure pieces can fit. If they don't, I can use a clay tool to cut off the pieces that I don't need so everything fits together a little bit better. I am going to continue thinking about my design, fitting all my coils in, and trying to make it interesting to look at. I am going to keep going until I fill up the entire mold that I started with. Notice that my coils are very close together and there are not a lot of gaps. If you see some gaps in your coils, you could make a little sphere of clay and tuck it in there. We just want to make sure that there's not any big holes in our bowl, or it will act more like a strainer than a bowl. Don't be afraid to mix up your coils and create different designs inside of your mold. If I have any extra clay when I'm done filling up my mold, I am going to put it back in my bag. I can also place my bowl into the bag if we run out of time during our class period. Our next job is to score the clay with a fork and then smooth it out to ensure that all of our coils stick together. I sprayed with a little bit of water and I am using my fork just to gently make some score marks along the entire inside of my bowl. Remember, I am just scoring or creating small lines. I am not digging into my clay. I do not want my fork to go all the way through. Once I am done with that step, I'm going to use a little bit of water to smooth out all those lines that I just made. Again, I am just smoothing. I am not squishing. I don't want to put my fingers through the bowl that I have created. Again, artists, if you run out of time during our class period, you have a bag with your name on it. We can put the bowl right inside until we are ready to work on it again. This clay project is going to take us a few class periods, so if you run out of time, remember we can come back to it. When my bowl is complete, I am going to very carefully take it out of the mold. I've flipped it into my hand and I'm removing the plastic wrap and the mold from the bowl that I created. You might see some little texture lines that were created by the plastic wrap. If you would like to smooth those out, you can use a little bit of water with your finger to do that. You don't want to completely erase those coil lines though. You want to be able to see your coil design. So go carefully and be gentle. Here's my coil bowl all done. Now it's time to let it dry so it can go in the kiln for its first firing. Have fun with yours, artists, and be creative.